Hey everybody, Frank here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. One more day, more bad news for Didi. Always seems to be on the negative side. Yesterday I shared some what I saw as positive news, but more news came out today that was in the negative light, so I want to share that with you right now. Alright, jumping right into it. Exclusive, Didi co-founder Lu told Associates she plans to leave. Now, before we continue moving forward, let's look at where she sits. She's the co-founder, director, and president, currently sitting directly under Will Chang, founder, chairman of the board, and CEO. So again, she is a co-founder. She has significant voter rights. We'll talk about that a little bit later on, and she has some significant influence at Didi. So let's kind of go back through the article. Alright, so this article repeats itself multiple times, but essentially what basically Jean said was she told some associates that she expected the government to eventually take over Didi and appoint new management, said to sources. It goes on to say that she plans to leave and encourage them to start looking at new opportunities as well, said one of the sources who was briefed on the matter. And some of those executives have since approached industry contacts for job leads, said the source. Next, the article goes on to say that they don't know if Jean has actually submitted a formal resignation later. Then they kind of talk about things that are totally unrelated. So they say Didi is actively and fully cooperating with a cybersecurity review. That has really nothing to do with her. And obviously she did not respond to the request because it's probably a private matter that she wishes not to discuss or is unable to. And then the article kind of goes off and talks about what's been happening over the last 2.5 months with Didi. I've covered that a lot in my other videos, so I'm going to link the article in the description below, so if you care to read it, it'll be there. Alright, at the bottom of the article, it goes on to say that Lee joined Didi in 2014. Currently, financially, she has a 1.6% stake worth about $640 million. And because of a dual class share structure, she controls about 23% of the vote. So even if she does leave Didi, she still has quite a bit of control on what happens moving forward, although she only has a 1.6% stake financially. But since they're a $40 billion company, it's worth about $640 million currently, so she has a nice financial incentive for Didi to be doing the right things, fix things, and then be going in the right direction so she can either retain her value or grow it in the future. Now, Jean is a very distinguished woman. If you want to read it, go out to their investor relations page, go out and look at executive management, board of directors, and you can see that she has a very distinguished resume, very influential woman, globally, not even just in China, very advanced degrees, has done a lot of work, has been with this company for 7 years now, helping growing it from when it was through several mergers. So she's done a lot with Didi, and she has a lot to be proud of. And it is disappointing to see these mumblings go around the company to see her leave. So that is going to take a toll when she leaves the company. She may go somewhere else and then bring leaders to her. It's not uncommon for people to poach people they used to work with, especially now that Didi's under regulatory, the magnifying glass of the regulatory. Now, it isn't always bad when a leader leaves a company. Sometimes it brings a new thought. Sometimes it's a welcomed opportunity. But in this case, it's a little concerning, right? We had a little bit over a month ago, Didi actually, their last press release, the last time they had anything out on their investors page, they basically came out and they were responding to some speculation that the company may be going private. That made me assume that there would be some sort of government takeover, or they would have to go back and buy all the shares and go private that way. Either way, it's a little concerning when you have this article come out here. And yes, her leaving is bad if it's true, and it is bad. But what seems even worse is what they're saying is, in recent weeks, she's told associates that she expects the government to eventually take control of Didi and appoint new management. So that's the thing that's actually concerning to me, is not necessarily that she's leaving, more so that there's government takeover. Now, I know I'm from the US, that's for me is just a big no-no. Maybe that's more common norm in China or some elsewhere in the world. However, that's just not, in my opinion, good business, especially her taking over from somebody in a new management position who really isn't as intimate with the business. Probably isn't going to, forcing people out that know the business is a little bit different. Now, one thing I will say is it does talk about, and there's other articles that says she's been talking about leaving for maybe a couple years, trying her hand in some other things. So this could be just kind of an opportunity for her to leave that's being framed in another light. So again, there's so much lack of information on Didi and what's going on right now. We need that app put back in the App Store before we can feel really any comfort with the app in the long term. I'm starting to get really, really nervous as we get upon 3 months of the app being removed. That's kind of the artificial timeline I kind of put up right as it was taken down. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Didi. Hit that like button. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I do videos on personal finance, investing, and stock analysis. Thanks so much for watching. Frank Finance, out.